Okay. Joo, okei. Antaa äänen kuulua vielä. Otellaanko vielä ihan pikku hetki? No niin. Okay, so we're about to start. Hope you all hear and see us. Good afternoon or good morning to Ireland. It's noon here in Finland. And welcome to our webinar, The Creative Design Process of Commercial Craft. My name is Marika Saarela. I'm from Taito Keskip-Pohjanmaa Association. And this webinar is a part of the INNOCRAFT International Craft Enrichment and Development Project. And the webinar introduces commercial design, manufacture and productization of handicraft products and do-it-yourself packages with materials and instructions for self-made craft. The lecturers are designer Mari Isopahkala, handicraft entrepreneur Jaana Öljymäki, and from Taito Keskip-Pohjanmaa handicraft instructors Elisa Saukko and myself Marika Saarela. Our webinar program is divided on 2 days, today and tomorrow, 2 2-hour sets, and today's program will start from designer Mari Isopahkala's presentation about how her products are born, about 45 minutes, and there's a short break. We'll welcome after her Birch Park craftsman Jaana Öljymäki from Design Jaana Ö. She will tell us about the treasures of the forest, and after that we'll have a short summary by me about this today's program. And tomorrow we will concentrate on Taito Keskip-Pohjanmaa's do-it-yourself packages. What's the productization, the whole design process, instructions and packaging, how it's all done and designed. And we'll have that presentation together with Elisa Saukko. And after that we will have a craft demonstration, step-by-step preparation of this Birch mood light according to the instructions in the do-it-yourself kit. And tomorrow we'll have also Rita Kovac from Rieska Leader have a short summary end of this webinar. And I hope you enjoy and we will inspire you. And I think that Mari is ready, and Mari, please get started.
Hello, my name is Mari Isopahkala and I'm a product designer, and I'm here today to tell you about my work and how my works are created. Is there something? then just press the button. So I start again. Okay. Some technical problems, of course, always. My name is Mari Isopahkala and I'm a product designer. I'm here today to tell you about my work, how they've been created. So my background is in University of Art and Design Helsinki, where I did my master in a program of applied art and design. I graduated from 2008. Before that, I've been passing by many different design schools, from classic art school, from glass and furniture and interior design schools. All those places gave me something, but I feel that my main education has been sealed in Helsinki, which is nowadays Aalto University. I set up my own design studio while studying 2006, just to sell some of my small production in the design shops in Helsinki. Still, I count my real designer studio life has been started in 2008 in Milan Fair, where I got my first design agreement signed as just graduated. So these two, the school and own studio, is my foundation to work as an entrepreneur and designer. So I didn't go to work for others after graduation. Things just happened and I started to get some projects. I consider myself lucky since I was able to make things what I felt right and were suitable for me by that time. I really had a good gut feeling and still I follow that same intuition. Of course, this gut itself didn't bring stars from the sky. On top of that, I was following these 3 things I've listed here. Courage. It can be design competition or some new opening. In this part, you just need to dive. You need to focus and let go. Devotion, it's when you are there in a swimming, you should still be alert and be prepared to develop your skills. That can be material-wise or technically, mentally, and so on. Third one is commitment. You need to tolerate uncertainty. Even when you are there swimming in the ocean and you are feeling really exhausted, you tolerate and believe what you do. By the end, good things happen because you have been working hard. So, my design philosophy. Then when you know how to do your job, you need to have the ideology and rules what you do. My design philosophy has been built on the necessity. I design necessary beauty with soul. I always aim to generate a reaction into the people. I consider details. I love quality crafting and quality materials. And in my design, there is sustainability in every scale, which is also including humanity. Because I think that there are also many kinds of necessities in the world. For me, the necessity can be functional or just beauty. I love that between there is a lot of materials and different ways to execute particular necessity. That gives me also some artistic freedom, but just enough. I think that the project itself informs the suitable balance. Because the design is dialogue between the designer and the need. Also, all the projects are different and they acquire certain production methods. So, as a designer, my work is to listen. So, is this the calling? I'm curious, I'm a problem solver, I love organizing things, I'm a hands-on type and I love details, but I have these serial thinking skills. I love aesthetics. I'm brave, but then in the same time, I'm sensitive. So I wrote these bravenesses and sensitiveness in green bold because those two opposite features are so important in design work. And I also love craftsmen, different materials and handmade marks. So here I've collected some of my works. What you see in these, maybe I could ask. Is there everyday objects, industrial design, craft, nice forms, different materials, or beauty, perhaps? What I see is the tip of the iceberg. And what is under the surface is the core of this presentation, how my works are created. I think the hidden part size comparing to the upper visible part varies in different projects. All projects are unique in that sense. We can go through a bit this slide. At the bottom peak, there is time equals money. It gives the frame for total project. It can be, for example, half-a-year project or 3-year project. It can be the work can be a pioneer work with almost zero money, or then a project where the financial frame is wide and bold. I put the artistic projects going upright. You have to have first the artistic goal, which demands the particular techniques and then the material what you use. On the left, there is the industrial project, where also the goal needs to be upcome first. Industry might have a certain production line or method already, where you just need to go in. And it's really important to understand to whom you are designed for. Who is the final user? Is it normal coffee drinker who appreciates the functionality, or is it a person who appreciate the high quality more than bulk product? So this creates under the surface part and works then as a foundation for the upper visual part. The functionality, the visuality, the details of the visible and touchable product. If we look those images again and think what there is under the surface. We can start from right upper corner at 1 o'clock there. One is art. It was a competition work. The second round in the competition enabled the possibility for me to reach the Murano blowers in Venice. So that was my goal, to reach them, and then I make my work for that. Second one is, it was a company project with some idea that let's start to test new thing. The new thing was furnitures. During this product development, the company got the idea what this type of product line needs from them. So in this case, the project stopped to a prototype level, but it was totally okay and very important for the company because they got the information instead of continue blind. So the third one is, this is the serial produced jewelry. The starting point were my own prototype from where I needed to change the idea of the jewelry to a serial production and make the series more user-friendly. Fourth one is idea of new functionality. This project was a bit funny and a bit contemporary. I designed the carpet for the breadcrumbs that cannot be seen in between the ruffles. The work was made only for discussion, and for that it could be a real product in some other form in the future. And the fifth one, when you are inside the company, you get artistic freedom to create new forms and needs. So I was with this project just following the ideology of the company. And the sixth one is industrial brief, 100%. Strict frame, time, function, and commercialism. And the result was this working plain ceramic tableware. So different ones. So design is problem solving. And the work is always really creative. There is, of course, the starting point, pump, in the between, maybe many of them, and then the end. So what comes to my work? I can divide it into. There is this my own work, and then there is company projects. My own work can be unique, and normally I make them for the exhibitions. And it can be also like longer period of artistic work, where I do some experiment with the materials and technique and things like that. And quite often those periods, they became to a small series production. Then I can take part into the competition, and if you're lucky, you can get the competition changed to a company project later on. Another way to reach the companies is to get the design briefs, and I work with design briefs as a freelancer designer. So with next slides, I go through some of my work and open a bit how they've been created. This is Nuppu glass series. I made this work for thesis in Helsinki. I fell in love with glass during my exchange period in Czech. And before in Prague, I just made one work out of glass, and it was really fascinating, and I really wanted to learn more. So that's because of this. So I wanted to experiment. And the idea behind this work is combine in one product industrial and unique. So there is dialogue between handwork and work in a series. So basically these glasses being partly molded partly blowed in the mold, and partly from the stem part they are like hand worked. So they are kind of having these both elements inside one product. This was the work I exhibited also in Milan Fair 2008. So this was the project I got my first design agreement signed as well. And it became like this. This is then the company project. My real designer life started. It was a soft slide for me, since the glasses were made in Poland, and the company was Habitat from UK, so they used the Polish factories. They were really similar than in Czech I've been used to and worked with before. So, but nevertheless, I needed to give up some parts, and of course that part was this unique part. So the stems became like alike. They are like a solid ones, not having different kinds of shapes like before. It was okay for me, because design evolves and change always for the customer needs, and that's totally fine, because I still got the original idea by myself and I could make something else with it later. Again, some work inspired of Czech glass. During my exchange period, I saw quite some much ugly and touristic glass, crystal glasses. It was really sad for me, because the Czech has such a long crystal cutting history, and they are so skillful in it. So this ugliness bothered me so much that I wanted to do something for it. And also the skill of cutting glass were really inspiring. So my plan was to save the crystal cutting industry in Czech, of course, Again, the same idea, industrial, unique. In this point, it was maybe better like in this industrial and handmade. Yeah, and this handmade was like Czech made. The idea of the product itself, I used one mold. Make the series, then by just cutting the one basic glass out to a different shapes. The basic shape here is the third glass on the third glass, the glass from the right hand side. So I had around 8 different silhouettes or something like that, which the engravers then cut out from this solid basic shape. So the final destination for this project was also exhibition, like quite often I have. And after this exhibition, at least I think I have 2 big ones, and then I have several ones, and they are even today, these classes are going somewhere in the exhibitions. But I got so much good feedback that I started to produce these classes independently then. Next one is unique pieces. During this project, I was already worked some time with glass, and I got understanding how expensive glass blowing can be. Even one flawless glass object can be work of several days, and it's really, really expensive. So in this case, I had an idea, and I wanted to be sure that the blowing would succeed at once. So I didn't have any other possibility than to contact the best ever blower in the world. So I contacted to the master in Murano, Venice, this Mr. Pino Signoretto, who's been blowing, for example, to Timo Sarpaneva's work. So he couldn't not be too bad. So I was really honest with him. I told him my budget, and we agreed that we can blow 3 objects out of with the budget. And those we did, and nothing extra. And I got perfect objects, and they were just as I was designed them for. And in the same time, I got really a good possibility to work with the world's best glass blower in that time. Even though it was expensive to travel there and spend some time in Venice, still it was worth for it. Also, today, unfortunately, Mr. Signoretto has passed away a few years ago, so I have really like treasures here now. Another type of work. Time to time, I need to change material. I work with different kinds of materials to clear my mind, and that keeps me really alert. It's really good if I don't do much about some material, for example. So I'm more daring to test new things in a new way. But when I work outside the box, I want to work with best professionals. Like in this project, I work with the master carpenter, the cabinet maker Jari-Pekka Wilkman maybe in Finnish, who is really maybe the best furniture maker ever in Finland. And with this work, this is the ceiling light. I was interested in material because I've been working quite some time with glass, and I wanted to have wood, and I wanted to do something functional, but also having this unique and sculptural feeling in a functional object. So I also wanted to challenge myself to make new approaches to the ceiling light. It works in a way that with LEDs, the LEDs are inside those colorful end parts of the light itself, and then you can turn the light arms itself like 360 degrees, and then like those end parts 45 degrees upwards, that the light are giving the bounce light from the ceiling to the room. So this kind of a soft atmosphere with LEDs. This was the mother of the previous slide. I think it was 2011 when I did this work, and then the LEDs were very new and very fascinating. They were so small, the LEDs, that the absolutely new light design was possible to make. So that I remember that time it was really inspiring lots of different designers, light designers. So this sculpturing and this uniqueness interested me, and this light and these mobile light arms were then created because of it, like the previous project. So the idea was in this light that the user could choose the shape of the light and the almond of the light by moving the light arms as wanted. And exactly, basically the same than before, but then in this the light were towards down. And again, with this project, I had intelligent people to work with me. The innovation part was created with close cooperation to Design Factory, which is the MacGyver department in Aalto University. So there were lots of engineers and like people knowing so much than me. So it was really interesting. We, for example, discovered a new technical solution to the light switch inside the light arm where the the arms are twisting. So basically, at one point when all the arms are gathered, like at one position, the light is switched off. And then when you take one, bing, 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 it gives the lights more. So this kind of a project. This is the latest outcome of the sculptural light theme I've been working for. This slide series has been made in 2016, and I wanted to continue the work only with wood because I think it was simpler for the production, because I wanted to make this production by myself. So of course, using only one line, it's easier and financially good way to go. So also I choose wood because I love the warmth, which was good next to the really technical LEDs. So in this series, I also thought more about the logistic and user experience, that the flat pack gives more possibilities for sending items more far. I also wanted the customer can build their own sculpture by themselves. So I was giving them the feeling of creating something, but not too difficultly. This is wooden mortar. I wanted to explore the material, and also why I did this was that I got an invitation to the wood exhibition. It gave me the opportunity to work again the best carpenters. And I was so lucky because I was working with Matti Söderkultalahti. He's working in Fiskars, and he's maybe, again, I always saying the best in Finland, but yeah, honestly, they are really, really good craft people I've been working with. I'm really lucky. He's a turning master, like amazing work. You need to Google him. Again, the experiment with the material and new crafting methods, I'm in, of course. It was really, really nice. And this project went in that way that I made some small serial pieces it was the exhibition pieces, but in the same time, people love these so much. I made another series, and they've been sold somewhere in Artek and different places in Helsinki. This is my first touch to the jewelry design. At least the first image on the left is the first one. It was it's a fur-ring jewelry. I made this because I wanted to challenge myself again with a different type of product designing, and I also had an exhibition where I needed to have this new thing to go on. So I made these rings, 30 pieces by myself, and just in the same time I was like having this small touch of how the silver works and how you need to work for it. And then the fur part is reindeer fur attached to the metal. So I did this for some time. Because of this, actually, I was putting my Studio 2006 up. Yeah, I was selling these. Yeah, but then I did something else afterwards, and this ring making, like, I forgot it. But then maybe after 10 years or something, someone remembered again these rings and called me, like, maybe it's really nice project, we love it, and could you please make some more rings? And today, for the National Museum of Finland, like, I think it was again this 30 pieces or something. It was made to order package. So of course I did that, and in the same time I was able to evolve the design, and this V ring was then happening. So from the jewelry to the light design, these two lights, I put them together. They are having my love to glass and my love to light. And glass and light, they are fitting together perfectly. So both lights, they've been made for the exhibitions again, and they've been handcrafted with some kind of a partner. And this greenhouse, the first from the left, they are studio glass produced with limited series. And this on the right hand, the gem light is a prototype of new shape and glass material. It's the glass, actually it's a borosilicate glass, maybe I pronounce it right, but it's the laboratorium glass, which is normally used with hot liquids, like those products you need to use hot liquids, like coffee makers and some glasses where you put the hot beverages. So even this kind of shape would have been easily made out of this normal soda glass in Finland and so on. I of course wanted to again have this new, widen my perspective and meet new people and new factory. So I found this new factory in Czech Republic who did this laboratorium glass. So I met them and we made this prototype. Later on, these greenhouse glass lamps and been produced by made to order as well, like the rings and some crystal glasses and some other things before. And that's the way they became a small series produced. And this gem light, it's been prototype for the upcoming designs and collaboration. For example, this light been able to discover because of my previous works, those gem lights and greenhouses. They gave the goal itself to the design process. The people who wanted me to work for them, they knew those previous works and they just wanted to do something similar with me. So with this work, I had a quite some brief. Of course, there was this like some I could do some with some own ideas, but like electrical parts and the illumination and all those things, which are really strict and important, they were coming from the team. With the teamwork, we put the design and the technical parts together. So this is a commercial design, really honestly. This is also a company project. 100% company briefing. I had really nice opportunity to work with new material and in a new way. I never ever done anything with the stainless steel or even the cutleries. It was my never ever this first project like this. But the company, this Marika, they were like, they wanted to do something with me really open-mindedly. So I got the opportunity, and also I got really nice artistic freedom with it, but also amazing interaction inside the teamwork. So this is always one of my favorite projects in the company-wise, because the result is functional. It's beautiful product series, which looks like the company itself. So I think it was good work in that sense. In between, I need art projects which has aesthetic and materially experimental starting points. So these objects, they've been made with collaboration with dear friend and colleague of mine, with Sami Ruotsalainen. We appreciated each other's work, the ideology and visuality, and we wanted to work together. Actually, this is our second duo exhibition project. So we both wanted to make something with glass and ceramic. Sami knows ceramic better than me, and I was more or less like testing, and we were like pushing each other to make new works. And this project's name is Äärillä, which means on the edge in English. So we were trying to find the boundary of each material. I wanted to make some tests of flattening the glass with mold, and then to continue with that glass by hand. So we got the result of unique series of glass pieces. I make some domes and some sculptures, and some ceramic lids I made for the Sami's ceramic pots, and also glass lids. I made some wooden bases for all the products, and which finally collected all the unique works as an ensemble of Äärillä. My final project is the jewelry of mine. This is a Pisara jewelry necklace, which has a set of bracelet and earrings, 2 types of earrings. With this project, I took part of the jewelry design competition. I had then a really strong gut feeling and need to take part when I saw the ad. Before this, I was designed only this fur-ring jewelry, this 30 pieces, and some years back. But that doesn't bother me in this time. I felt I need to dive. So for the first round, I draw the sketches, and I got chosen for after the next round of the competition. Then I just needed to make some hand-touchable mock-up, whatever material that the jury could see how it works or what are the dimensions and so on. Well, somehow I saw immediately the jewelries in silver. So I didn't have the goldsmith skill in that sense, but then I was really certain that certain of my idea that I need to make it. So I hired a model smith to finalize my entry. And I took a financial risk, but it was worth it. I won the competition, and this Lapponia Jewelry, whose competition it was, invited me to their guest designer. So it became the Pisara changed to this winter pearl jewelry set for Lapponia Jewelry. So the set is very much based on the competition entry. So basically, I just needed to develop the design suiting for Lapponia's production line better. I don't know how much time I've been spent. There are just a few slides left. And then some happy moments. Lastly, very much exciting, but really rewarding. In this lovely violet suit is the Queen of Sweden, and in red, the First Lady of Finland. I got an invitation to present my work for them, which were then arranged during the royal visit in Helsinki. The ladies, the presidential and the royal ladies, presidential and royal husbands, they were together somewhere else while we were having this lady moment. And this another image from the left, the daughter of our previous president in lovely light green dress is wearing my winter pearl jewelries. This image is from the reception of Independence Day in 2011. That's autumn. I think the winter pearl was just launched, and I counted over 15 jewelries all around the presidential palace on that night. Of course, I was just checking from the TV, but it was really happy moment. I didn't expect anything. So this was it. Thank you for listening. I'm very much interested in to hear some new openings and your crafting and so on. So don't hesitate to contact. And of course, if you have any questions, I think there is this possibility to have questions for me. Oh, you can write the questions to the chat box. So then someone maybe gives me those, and I can maybe give my best. Yeah. Don't be shy. But it's okay.
Do you have some favorite design work?
Of mine?
Yes.
Favorite one? I have to say this jewelry, this Pisara and the winter pearl, because it's really it gave me so much possibilities, and I was like having like, instead of one step, I get 3 steps upward, and maybe that's one of my dearest because it was a winning competition, and they were like treated me like a royal there. It was amazing. Like we were flying to the Munich, and I got the prize there, and Björn Wexström and everything was hugging, and it was great that piece. And I think also it's been quite of good work because it's still going on and people love those pieces. Yeah.
My favorite is
That's maybe my second one. Thank you, because yeah, it's something happened that project, and the teamwork was just so fruitful in that moment. So it was a good thing to happen. It has even though they are really nice looking cutleries, they are still the main thing when you are having this is actually the under the surface part. When you are buying the product, then when you are eating, you are having this another surface, like, wow, these are amazingly good to your mouth, because your mouth is so sensitive, so you can really like feel the fork, for example, like it's the can't even say in English the word, but we all understand, like it's good, feeling good.
Ask some questions, but I'm asking Finnish. It's okay. Mitä suomalaisia brändejä siis on, joiden kanssa olet tehnyt yhteistyötä? Ihan, voisitko sanoa ihan, koska varmaan Irlannissakin osa näistä on hyvin tuttuja.
Finnish brands. Okay. The audience asked about like what are the brands I've been worked with in Finnish brands. Yeah. Well, this Lapponia jewelry, which we know maybe also like Kalevala Koru, they are a kind of one big company, but they have this daughter brand called Lapponia Koru. So for the jewelries, I hope I remember there are not so many. So Marimekko, the cutleries were for Marimekko, and then Innolux, which also in other name can be Innojok. They are making lamps, so the light design for them. Then I should have my web page open that I remember, but then there is the wood notes, for example, some products for them. They are making, wood notes, because these craft people, paper fabrics out of products out of paper fabrics and making the carpets out of paper. What is lanka? Yarn. Yeah. And then what else? Basically how I work is that I don't have even 50-50 this company project and my own work, because I love my own work so much. I mean that there are something the gut feeling is pushing me towards my own work. So basically the company works, they are amazingly, they give me a lot, but they are maybe less than 50% of my work still. And then I want to work with this artistic part more in the future and make my own serial designing, and that's coming hopefully really soon. And there is this company. I don't know. I'm sorry about English how to say it, but it's SOK, S-O-K. What they are? It's a big, really big company. They have like grocery shops, and they have their own production lines from textiles to whatever dishes and so on. It's a big one. In Finland there are two big ones who are like dividing that kind of a field in Finland, and SOK is one of them. And then I made for Finlayson this. It was a teamwork. I was working with them with the ceramic tableware set. And oh my goodness, the Kalajoki company called Topikeittiöt, of course, one of my dearest and oldest cooperation partner. So for them, I've been working with some product designing, which means some kitchen doors and some other products, and then also making some exhibition design for them, because they are quite often, every year they are somewhere showing their kitchens, so at the fairs basically. So did I miss something?
There's a few questions. Helen from Ireland wants presentation.
You're welcome.
Mary,
Oh.
She wants to know if you got finance all the time.
Maybe I need to give the question.
Yeah.
Someone asked, is there instead of this, thank you for this brilliantness, how to say it, I'm humble with that, but and thank you. Someone asked about this, is there a financing all the time for to make my work? Yeah, well, that's the 50-50 part. I have these company projects, and this is the part also what I was listing here, this tolerate the uncertainty, because they can be like one big commercial or company project in a year, and then you need to just count that you can survive the whole year, and then do the artistic things or just start the new company projects, because they are quite slow sometime, and maybe if there is 2 company projects in the year, it's okay for me, because sometimes they are like having these long-term periods, that like this INNOCRAFT, this light. Maybe I can go back to the. No, oh, it's okay. But this light, maybe you remember this, have this kind of look like mushroom, the glass stem. That was like so long period of working with them, because it was changing all the time. We just tested so many things, but yeah. And then the really important financing is also to get grants from the government and some like private säätiö foundations. Yeah. So those are really important for me, because I want to explore my design, my artistic point of views and the materials. So it's 50-50. Like this year, I'm having this 1-year grant going on to working with some secret project of mine, which I hopefully is coming soon, that everybody can see it. Yeah, and before that also. So it's the hard job in that sense, that you need to be alert all the time, and then you need to have the plan B and C and D, and then you mix those, and then Corona comes, and it's crazy time, like for everybody. But yeah, I've been survived by this time, and hopefully in the future, I just need to believe and work hard. Secret project, but it's something with the jewelries. Mm. Sorry, I didn't actually get it.
Se on tuo viimeinen kysymys, voi varmaan itse lukea sen sitten.
Samat.
Se alimmainen, joo.
What are your tips for persons who might be interested on trying their wings on crafts, design, entrepreneurship? What would be the steps to take? Yeah. Well, then the school is really important. I wouldn't be here if I wouldn't be in several different schools. It's important. And then, education. Did I answer the question? And maybe I didn't give the question this, what are you doing now? Did they say here? I don't know. Hopefully it was this secret jewelry project going on. It's my long year term design project. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's all. Okay. If there's, if there is no question anymore, I thank you on behalf of mine part, and then you have my address there. email address, so email if you have a question more and so on. So thank you.
Okay, so we'll start, we'll continue in 5 minutes. We'll set everything ready for Jaana, so we'll see you in 5 minutes. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to everyone in Ireland and Finland. My name is Jaana Öljymäki and I would like to tell you about our Finnish forest treasures, birch bark work and birch bark products. Here is the program. I tell you a little bit about my background and then information about birch bark work and material, that's collecting, handling, weaving and techniques. And then a little bit about my products. And the end, you could write those questions and comments in online, so I answer. So welcome. Here is my mother and me. I have learned a lot of her about this birch bark work. I want to thank her for introducing me to this wonderful craft. So, kiitos äiti. My mother started her birch bark hobby in 1981 and she started to teach the birch bark in 85. Now she is retired but still teaching in northern Ostrobothnia in Finland, one group. After my studies, I was a teacher 11 years. I teach example cloth design, art and culture, photography, graphics, leather and birch bark work. Now I have my own company, Design Jaana Ö. I started in last spring, just 1 year, but very busy. I sell my products at my own online store, at fairs and events. And I have a few couples retailers. I offer high quality and ecological birch bark products and like jewelry, practical and decorative products, do-it-yourself package, different kind of birch bark material and books. I have made graphics since 1990 and my selection includes hand-printed graphic like cards and prints. And then I have courses around Finland. The one and the biggest of this is birch bark work. I grew up surround my mother's birch bark work. As a child, I hate that mess and that feeling of material. I didn't like that at all. I know this doesn't sound very good for a start, but it's true. My first contact with birch bark work was in 1996 when I was studying at the University of Lapland, Faculty of Arts, Fashion Design. I heard about an international fantasy cloth competition and decided to design something. I asked my mother if clothes could be made of birch bark, and she always said that everything can do, so she said yes. So this is my fantasy dress and my first birch bark work what I made. In that competition, in the Finnish final, there were 10 competitors. Is that right? Yeah. And I became third. The dress contained a skirt, a top, and the long shoes. It have been made about 1 centimeter wide birch bark ribbons, and I made this dress one summer. For several years now, we have been developing old designs and models together with my mom, and we will continue to work closely together. We have written 2 birch bark handbooks. Those are published in 2015 and 17. The making of these books have been a really good education for me in this job. Both books contain basic instructions for birch bark work and material handling. There is a precise and clear instructions, and we thought about skills that both beginners and experienced people can make products with these books. And these books contain some traditional products, like these containers, kontti in Finnish, and birch bark shoes, virsut in Finnish. And there is a bowls. And different kind of baskets. And bags. Roses and different flowers. Jewelry. Cans. Knives. Here is few key rings and mirrors. There is one detail and different kind of decoration and things like that, and much more. A little bit back. We are dreaming of getting these books published in English as well. It's our dream now. Then I tell you something about birch bark work and material, the place where to collect, permissions and time when to collect. In Finland, birches grow almost all over the country, but in the north, the birches are so small that their bark is not suitable of weaving. But everywhere else, you can find the birch. You must always have a permission to take the birch bark, like forest companies or private forest owners. So you can't just go to forest and take the birch bark without permission. And then when to collect that bark. Birch bark comes out best in summer. Finland celebrates that the Midsummer Festival in late of June. And the time about 2 weeks before and after the fest is called Birch Bark Month. Old people talk about this. But the collecting time also depends on weather. If it was a warm or cold spring or beginning of summer. If warm, the barks comes off a little bit earlier. Then a little bit material. These are the pictures of white and brown side. And in Finland, the brown side is mainly used on the surface of the products. And in Canada, for example, the white side is also widely used. The material is beautiful, of course, I think, and resistant, ecological and natural. This material is many kind of. It's thick, durable, flexible, thin, light and soft. You can use it many ways. And then about colors. The shades of birch bark are very rich, like light and, as you can see here, different colored brown and even a dark reddish brown. I don't dye the material in any way. It's completely natural. Everything is nature's own colors. Then collection or uptake or pull. In Finnish we have many words for collecting birch bark. All of them sounds like the job would be very easy. However, it's not that easy. During the birch bark month, there are also a lot of mosquitoes in Finnish forests, and you will have a million angry friends with you. Of course, collecting is hard work, even without the mosquitoes. When the time is right for collecting the bark, we cut the surface and do it very carefully so that the tree doesn't get damaged. Usually we we go to forest, where is the where they are gonna cut all the trees. So some forest company owns then those trees, and we can take the park off, and after that comes to machines and they cut all the trees away. That's terrible, but we can use the material. Otherwise, it's a garbage. When we cut, then we wrap the bark around the tree, and if it's right time, it goes away very easily. But if not, it's stuck. We try to take big pieces as we can. Me and my mother take the bark from the lower parts of the tree, and when there is a good and kind wood, we said to my father, and he come and they take bark from above, a little bit higher. And he's over 70 years old and still climbs. These are picture last summer. After the cutting, and the material should be dry a little bit, not over the night, but a little bit. And then roll the brown side up onto the roll and store the bark roll or arc like this. You can take birch bark in winter time outside. It don't like that, or if there's a roll or arcs, even the straight sunlight, it's not so good. Okay. When I start to do some products, I first clean the bark. I use brush or knife, depends how dirty it is. And then I thin the material. I take layers of the white side. How much to thin depends on what product I'm doing. If it's jewelry or something small, it have to be very soft and thin. If all goes nicely, it looks like this in that picture, but usually it leaves one piece at a time and piece by piece. It's also sometimes a big job. Next, cutting ribbons. I do it with knife or scissors. And here is a picture how I storage my ribbons. As you can see, material handling is a very big project. And then start finally the weaving. Here is a starting grid. It made with 4 ribbons and weaving them alternately over and under. And this is a bottom grid, and the weaving is continued by adding ribbons to the edge one after time. Then I decide the product size and shape. And even if there is a bottom grid like this, you can choose different shapes or size like this. And then turn the whole thing and weave up as much as need. What are you doing? So you can weave a little bit or very far. And now the brown color is inside the basket. This is a white side here. And then turn the edge and weave top of the whole product. Like this. Sounds very easy. And sometimes some ask me why these products are so expensive. And I think now you know why. There is that material isn't just you go to shop and buy like fabric. I take this 5 meters or something. You can do much job for that. And here is different birch bark techniques. There is up, there is oblique and straight weaving. And the down, there is plait technique. There is no weaving at all. I use glue for fixing this. Then at the end, I show you some of my products. I have a basic collection of baskets, and there includes different size from a small cup to large dishes. The products are suitable for everyday life and celebration, and they are long-lasting and durable products. Here is some of my jewelry, some traditional in left and new models in right. And here are my new butterfly designs from this spring. And here is earrings and hair ornaments. Here is 3 very important things for me and my company about products. First is, of course, quality, and I mean both quality of design and material. Then second, that understand the material, nature of the material and handling the material right. And third, to make sustainable products, they should lasting time and use. And because the products are expensive, I think that customers should be satisfied and very happy. And all these three things helps on that. As a young girl, I couldn't have been less interested in some traditional crafts, but I think it was pretty common for young people then. But today things are quite different for me. For nowadays, many traditional craft techniques have been highlighted, and tradition is much more respected than before. Some people like old traditional products and others like modern style. Once you learn the basic of technology, you can do anything about it, as my mother always says. Birch bark material can be difficult for some to get, but there are also wonderful substitute materials such as different kind of papers, magazines, leather paper, cork cloth and felt tape. For example, birch bark shoes. They are still made with old techniques, but with a completely new twist. For example, from recycled felt tape. I think this all is good thing. In this way, new material help to keep the old traditional alive. I hope that one day my children will also be interested in birch bark work. A couple years ago, when I asked my daughter if she would ever start doing that work, her answer was no. A year ago, she came to my course, and this winter she did an internship in my company. So there is interest, even though a moment ago it seems a utopian idea, as it did for me in my childhood. And look at me, now I love birch bark work. Yes. Thank you. And if you have questions or comments, you can write in question box, and I try to answer. There is ask when I do the birch bark work, is the material dry or wet? This is this ask me for all the time. Dry. So mikä on paju? Willow. willow. Maybe it's that because willow you have to put on water and keeps it there, and then you have to start to do something. But that birch bark, it's dry, and then you can use it. I don't. It's flexible and it won't break, and it's very start. You can just start to do that. Okay, do I remember? Yeah. There is ask. Is the collecting and that product making, is that a 50-50? And I think yes, sometimes when we collect the birch bark, we go to forest and we take much of that. So there is maybe we go many days, many times in one summer, and we collect whole year material. And if the material is nice, I always speak like those are people or something. They have a character. So if material is nice and you can clean it and tightening it very easy, it's nice job and won't last long. But when it's not so so nice, it takes time. So I think if I made some products, example the bread bowl or something, I think material handling is about 50%, and then the weaving is 50%.
Do you correct customers' birds if they are broken?
Oh, do I fix?
Yeah.
If somebody gives me a broken product, and do I fix it? I haven't do that yet, but why not? Why not? Why not? There is a problem if fix some product, because the colors are different. In every tree have own color. So if there is an old product and it's broken, it's hard to find the right color on that. That's a little bit problem, but if that's not so in mikä on tarkka? Precise, if it's just right color, yeah, you can fix those.
Books and you sell your products and you have these courses. How do you your
all of your money comes from there. Do you manage well?
Oh, do I have money? Get money? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's a questions that I have a books and products and course. So which one is the best selling, or yeah, how I manage? Yeah, of course. Okay. Not with books. Yeah, the I don't know, mikä on kustantaja. Publisher takes quite good piece of cake, so we get just a little bit of these books, but I think course and products are quite the same. Depends. Yeah, I think. And how I manage. Yeah, I just start, but this 1 year was so great. So I have I thought that it takes me 2 or 3 years to get here, and now 1 year gets me here in this point. But this spring and this summer and this whole year is terrible. So it goes like. But where I sell most. I don't know. I think, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe the, mikä se messu nyt olikaan? Fairs. Yeah, maybe fairs. But I'm the new, so there is a quite little selling in still, but hoping good, because when I start the fairs was I sell a little, and then after that more and more. So this shouldn't be a good year for me and my company, but this terrible happened. So. Yeah, I don't have any rich people who gave money me and nothing. I just do this, and this is my job, and I live this, and with my husband's money. And but there is 2,000 euros in that Corona. Yeah, support, yeah, something, and but it's 200 and minus verot, tax, yeah, and that's 5.5 months for that 200 euros. So. I sell in Finland now, but I hope that I can make that website online store in English. So maybe one day I sell in out too. I hope. You ask that foreigner. So there is one American lady who wants to come here to get to know and see what we do, me and my mother, and that kind of cooperations. So, and in Belgium there is a one person who were here in last summer 1 week in course, and now you Ireland people too.
Do you know any other birch bark craft makers here in Finland? Okay. And do they do anything like you, or do they prepare just shoes and baskets with traditional products? Or do they have their own modern products as well, like you?
Here is birch bark workers here in Finland, but they are quite old people, like my mother, and they are quite local persons, so they don't go around Finland. So, but there is a few makers who make this for living, but this is small group, and that's why the old people who are masters of this, they are local. I decide that I go around and I want to teach this technique. It's gonna still be alive. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for comments. Okay. Yep. Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Jaana and Mari. Also, really inspiring presentation and lots of fine craftsman work and ideas and design. Your different type of workers. Jaana has this really traditional Finnish technique and material, and Mari had lots of industrial ideas and different types of projects. So thank you very much. It was really nice to hear your stories and ideas. And that's today's program. Hope you all enjoyed. And tomorrow we are going to continue with myself and Elisa, our Taito Keskip-Pohjanmaa do-it-yourself kits presentations, and same time, same place tomorrow. So thank you. Bye.